What's up, YouTube? I'm not even gonna do an intro right now because I'm just extremely sad. As you could tell by the title, we have had issues arriving here in Malaysia, and John is not gonna be with me in this video because, as you guys know, Piper is John's dog, and John just can't even talk about what happened. And I'm forcing myself to make this video right now because I want you guys to know what's going on, and I want you guys to know the real stories of what happens, you know, when you're traveling. And you know, I've already decided that everything that we do on this journey, I'm gonna keep you guys in the loop and let you guys know. I know that I have a lot of people following me that want to do world traveling, or they just want to go live in another country, and I feel like it's my duty to tell you guys the truth about how hard some things can be about, you know, going to another country and stuff. But like I said, as you could tell by the title, Piper is not with us right now. I just want to say before I get started that I'm sorry for the lack of like excitement and personality that I'm gonna have in this video, because I'm just completely sad and distraught right now. And John also said that he's sorry that he's not participating in this video. He just can't bring himself to talk about what's going on. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump right into the video and I'm gonna tell you guys what happened. So let's get into it. Okay, so if you guys have watched my previous video, we have left the Philippines. We spent 3 months in the Philippines, and if you want to know how that experience was, go and watch my previous video where we said goodbye to the Philippines. What happened initially was that we were going to go to Vietnam. We really wanted to tour Vietnam. We wanted to spend a month in Vietnam and go and see stuff from the Vietnam War. We are from the US, for people that don't know, and we're also from Florida. And so Senator John McCain, well, former Senator John McCain, he was a prisoner of war in Vietnam, and John served in the US military. So he was interested in going to see the prison of war camp where John McCain was held and stuff like that. So we wanted to go tour Vietnam and see some of the stuff in Vietnam from the war. So we planned out our trip to Vietnam, and we created a budget for it and everything. And we got to the airport, and they told us that because of the airport that we were flying into, we would need a special visa to get into that country. We didn't know about this because when you do Google searches and you look up if American citizens need visas, it says you only need a visa after 90 days, which is true. That's completely true. You don't need a visa to enter the country, but because of the specific airport that we were flying into, you need a special type of visa to enter through that airport. We didn't know that. What I'm learning like about this travel the world thing is that a lot of stuff is not like told to you. Even when you do extensive research, you're still missing a lot of things. You really have to read in between the lines. You have to make a lot of phone calls. You have to email people. You have to ask other people that have been there. Doing a simple Google search like you would do in the US, it doesn't work in other countries. They leave out a lot of information on their websites, and you don't really get like a straightforward answer of what you're looking for and a set of instructions that you need to follow. So when they told us that at the airport, they told us that we could get out of line and we could apply for that visa and then get back in line. Once I went on the website to apply for the visa, it said it would take up to 2 weeks to be approved. Now, we spent a lot of money on the plane tickets to get to Vietnam because we have Piper. When we initially moved to the Philippines, we did not know that we were going to travel the world. We decided to travel the world once we got to the Philippines and spent a few months there, because it just seems like experiencing one country wasn't enough. We wanted to experience multiple countries. If we would have known that we were going to travel the world, we would have left our dog home with my parents. They offered to watch our dog while we were gone, and we turned it down because we were going to miss him, and we wanted him to be with us for the full year that we were in the Philippines. So our plan changed. We didn't stay in the Philippines for a year. We ended up trying to travel to other places, and that's very difficult to do with a dog. But with that being said, I'm not going to sell my dog or get rid of my dog just because we decided to change plans. It's not his fault. and I'm not going to punish him for it. I love him. He's like our child, and we're not going to get rid of him. So when we decided to go to Vietnam and we found all of this extra information, and it said it takes up to 2 weeks to be processed for the visa, we decided, okay, well, our plane lands in Kuala Lumpur, which is in Malaysia. So maybe instead of just letting the plane tickets go completely to waste because they were expensive, we could still use those same plane tickets and we could just stop in Kuala Lumpur and not go all the way to Vietnam. So we told that to the lady that was processing our passports and plane tickets to let us get on the plane. And we told her we're not going to go to Vietnam now. We're just going to stop in Kuala Lumpur. There was still complications with that because she said in order for her to let us go to Kuala Lumpur, we had to have an exit ticket from Kuala Lumpur, like so that she knows we're not going to go to Vietnam anymore. So what we did, I used a special website, which I'll make another video about at a later date. I used a special website where you go and you basically buy dummy tickets, dummy exit tickets, so that you're able to board the plane. I bought dummy tickets. They're like $10 instead of paying for an actual plane ticket. I bought dummy tickets, showed it to the lady. She said, that's good, that's fine, and she let us get on the plane. Once we got on the plane and we arrived in Kuala Lumpur, we went all over the airport asking, where is our dog? Where's Piper? Where's Piper? Usually he comes out on the conveyor belt with our luggage. This time he didn't. We couldn't find him. So no one spoke English, but we finally found one person that spoke English and they told us where to go. They walked us there, and when we got there, the guy started questioning me and questioning John about does he have an import permit. And I showed him everything that we filled out in the Philippines. I gave them the import permit, the health certificate, the vaccination cards, everything that we've been using to put Piper on an airplane in the US and the Philippines. I gave all of that to him, like the same process that I've been doing every time. He says, this is not the correct paperwork. You have to get the paperwork from the Malaysian government. And I was like, how do I get the paperwork from the Malaysian government? And he said, you should have filled out a paper online. They will mail it to you, and you have to hire a travel agent for your pet to finish the paperwork. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know any of that. How am I supposed to know I gotta hire a travel agent for my pet? Like, I didn't know any of that. So I was like, well, what's gonna happen now? And he was like, your dog's gonna go to jail. I'm like, my dog is gonna go to jail? And he's like, yes, we're going to arrest your dog. And I'm like, okay, what do I need to pay to get him out? And he was like, no, you have to hire a pet travel agent, and she has to come here to the airport and we have to talk to her. So I'm like, how the heck do I hire a travel agent? So luckily, one of the people that were working in the quarantine office for the animals, luckily they were able to give me the information for the travel agent. So I contacted the travel agent using WhatsApp on my phone, and she said she could be to the airport in 40 minutes. Once she got to the airport, before we did anything, I made sure that I verified like that she's been doing this and that she runs a legitimate business. She gave me a business card. She showed me pictures of other dogs. She gave me the address of where Piper would be, and she spoke good English, so she was able to explain to me everything that was going to happen. She said that he would spend 7 days in a quarantine facility that is run by her and her husband, and after those 7 days, the import permit and the government paperwork will be processed, and that's going to take probably another 7 days. She said the minimum time he will be in there is 10 days. The maximum is 14 days. So basically in 14 days, because it seems like everything goes wrong when we're traveling to other countries, so I'm just going to say the maximum, in 14 days we'll be able to get Piper back. What breaks my heart the most is that we're not allowed to visit him while he's there. We do get updated on his condition and what he's doing, and he was able to take all of his stuff that he loves. That's the good thing about having the travel agent. So he's been in there now for 3 days. Basically every morning between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. the woman that has him sends me like 4 or 5 videos of stuff that he's been doing throughout the day. She sends me pictures of what he's been doing. He is in something called a compound, and there's only 4 other dogs that are in the compound right now. They all have their own room. It's like a big giant bedroom, and they have their own crate. He has his crate that he's used to, his traveling crate, and he sleeps in that crate every night, so he loves that crate. He has like 4 or 5 of his favorite blankets. He has 10 of his favorite toys that he uses. I gave her all of his toys. He has his own dog food that he always eats from, or that he always eats, and he has his own dog bowls that he eats from. So everything that he has is familiar to him except the environment and the people. What it really like hurts me and makes me sad is that we've had Piper since he was like 6 weeks old, and he's never ever been without us for one day. He's never gone any length of time without being with us. When we go to the store, we bring him with us and he stays in the car. We leave the car running and he stays in the car. If it's a store that you're allowed to bring your pet, we put him in the cart and he comes in the store with us. When we go to the mall, if it's a pet-friendly mall, he comes in the mall with us. But we never leave him at home by himself, and we never really leave him anywhere by himself. He goes to the beach with us. He goes in the store with us. He goes everywhere with us. If the place doesn't allow pets, when we get in there and they tell us we can't bring our pet, we put him back in the car and we leave the car running. And I'm just being honest. I know that that's not safe, and someone could steal the car and someone could steal the dog. But his like separation anxiety, we haven't gotten it under control yet. And to leave the house and he's like squealing as we're walking down the stairs to leave the house, we can't deal with it, and we feel like it's like torture to him. So since he's in this compound and there's nothing we can do, we feel super guilty, and we feel like it's our fault, and we feel like he's being punished because of us. And that is true. He's being punished because I did not gather the proper documentation and the proper paperwork. So right now we're just heartbroken, and I'm nervous because we are in a foreign country. So I feel a little bit like, what if something goes wrong and they don't give him back to us? Or what if there's some type of documentation that we can't provide and they say, well, you can't get your dog back? So I'm super nervous about that, and I've been communicating with the lady, and there's only so much that she can do. She keeps telling me I need to talk to the compound officer because all she does is handle the daycare and the import permit. That's the only thing that she handles. And she said that she gave my phone number to the compound officer 3 times already, and he hasn't contacted me. So I'm super nervous about it. I'm thinking about Piper like all day and all night, every day, because like just like he has separation anxiety, I think we have separation anxiety from him too, because he's always with us every day, every second. So this is just a super hard time, and I really hate this so bad. And like I can't even enjoy Malaysia. Neither one of us can enjoy Malaysia because he's not with us. Like we're going out and we're doing stuff and taking pictures, but it's just not the same. It's not the same without Piper, because he's literally our life. Like he's our baby, and we buy him so many toys and blankets and just try to keep him so happy. And it's just sad. Like every night that we've been here and we've been cooking, we're always like, oh, we gotta make Piper a plate, because we always make him a small plate of whatever we eat. So if we eat burgers, we make him a small burger. If we make spaghetti, he gets a small plate of spaghetti. If we have macaroni and cheese, he loves macaroni and cheese. He loves mashed potatoes and gravy. Like he loves everything that we eat. So every night as a treat, he gets a small plate of whatever we eat before he goes to bed. And so every night here that we've been cooking, like we haven't been able to do that. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm so heartbroken. I'm so heartbroken, and I'm trying not to let myself get out of control with it, because I know if I think about it and think about it and think about it, I'm gonna get like super emotional where I can't move on from it for the next 2 weeks. So I have to just keep like swallowing it down and pushing it to the back of my mind, because if not, I will obsess over it and I won't be able to do anything. So I feel like the more I push it to the back of my mind, the quicker the days are going by. So in the videos that she's sending us, he looks fine. He looks fine. He's jumping on them. His tail is wagging. He's running through this big field of grass. He looks fine. So maybe we're taking it harder than he is. But I also don't want him to forget us. I don't want him to forget that he has a mommy and a daddy. And then like he just moves on, and when he comes back to us, he barely remembers us or something. I know I'm being dramatic. It's only 2 weeks, but he's my baby. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on what is going on with that and what happened, because I know you guys are going to ask if I post it on my story or something like that, and that's what happened. So we're literally just waiting 2 weeks to get him back. And yeah, so this just all sucks so bad. And again, I'm sorry that John isn't in the video. Like, he's taking this really bad. He's taking this really bad. Piper is actually his dog, and Piper is so attached to John. I feed Piper a lot of treats. I take Piper on walks a lot, and I baby him a lot. But John is the primary, like, he wakes up in the morning and takes him out. He gets up in the middle of the night and takes him out if Piper's whining. He feeds Piper 3 times a day, sometimes more. He plays with Piper. He throws the toy. They play fetch. So Piper is like this with John. He's always up under John. And so for John to not have his companion, Piper has really helped him with his mental health struggles. And to not have Piper, he's been struggling and feeling very down and very depressed. And when I asked him, do you want to participate in the video of me telling the viewers about what happened to Piper, he was like, I would rather not, because I don't want to get like emotional. And he definitely got emotional at the airport. Like, I had to calm him down. He was jumping up and yelling at people because he didn't understand how they could just take our dog away. And I thought things were going to get out of control. I thought that we were going to get in some kind of legal trouble because John was displaying so much anger. But I was able to talk to him and calm him down and tell him Piper's going to be taken care of and we're going to get him back in 2 weeks. But if you lose your temper, then we're not going to get him back and you could possibly be in trouble. So just sit down and let's figure out what to do with a calm, level head. And he ended up doing that. He ended up calming down and stuff. But he was crying and very upset about them taking Piper. And Piper was like howling and stuff when we were walking away. I was breaking down. I was sobbing so bad. John was tearing up and crying. And so it was a bad experience. And I'm going to update you guys and let you guys know like what's going on. At the end of this video right here, I'm going to attach videos of Piper, and I'm gonna put on there day 1, day 2, day 3, so you guys can see like how he's doing. He's only been in there for 3 days right now, so I'm gonna attach 3 days of short little clips of what he's been doing inside the compound. So that brings us to the end of the video. You guys know what I say at the end of every video, so say it with me. Stay up, stay safe, and stay subscribed. Peace out until next time, but stay tuned for the videos of Piper. Peace.